In the 4 previous Lost from Nottingham videos, and if you haven't seen them, please go back and check them out, the lost items in question were removed during the city renovations of the 1950s and 60s. In many cases, to some people, this took place before they were born and therefore is classed as past history. This video is different. The changes in question only took place in 2007 and could probably be remembered by everybody watching this video. The changes still remain controversial even now. I am of course referring to the redevelopment of the Old Market Square. Old Market Square has always been a focal point in the centre of Nottingham, going back hundreds of years. It's the 3rd biggest square in the UK and occupies 22,000 square metres. The Nottingham Exchange stood over the Market Square for 200 years prior to the erection of a council house, occupied by busy markets, obvious really, as well as the original home of the Nottingham Goose Fair. The square was redeveloped in 1927 along with the building of the council house. This redevelopment, known colloquially as Slab Square due to the high number of concrete slabs used, was a more ornate square with a central processional way with raised platforms to either side. When completed, there were flower beds either side of the processional way near the council house, with similar ones on the western side with a circular pool and single fountain. These were removed in the 1950s, however the 2 flower beds on the eastern side were rebuilt as large pools with multiple fountains in each. The Old Market Square was popular with everyone, with places to sit and watch the city pass by. In the past, the square has been filled with crowds welcoming the cup-winning teams of Nottingham Forest, the Olympic champions Torval and Dean, as well as a host of other events and royal visits. And of course we can't forget the square being packed on New Year's Eve along with a giant Christmas tree. By the turn of a century though, the Old Market Square was looking a little tired, filled with flocks of pigeons and their associated mess. The fountains were often filled with bubble bath, creating a giant foamy monster, and the toilets at the western end, well, they just smelled bad. The Old Market Square was controversially redeveloped in 2007 at a cost to the city's taxpayers of £17 million. And despite this cost, no buildings were erected or demolished, but it just covered the cost of the multi-shaded granite stones brought in. The square is now a fully accessible, single-level area with a water feature dominating the eastern side where the toilets used to be, with jets of water shooting into the air and pools which seem to be filled with kids every day during the sunny summer holidays. Now on a level tier, the square seems to spend a large amount of time being filled with market stalls, fun fairs, as well as the seasonal Nottingham by the Sea and Ice rink. There's even been a Nottingham Eye Ferris wheel installed several times over the years. Many complain the new square is soulless, and to be honest, when it's empty, it's just a vast open space of granite with nothing to break it up. The Old Market Square was indeed looking tired, dirty and worn, and did need a makeover of some sort. However, it's hard not to think that for 17 million, they could have done a little better.